لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله ما لنا رب سوى لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله سيد الأنبياء وخاتم المرسلين. أحمدك ربي على كل قضائك وجميع قدرك، حمد الرضا بحكمك لليقين بحكمتك. Brothers and sisters in Islam, respective viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and ahlan wa sahlan, welcome to our program. First of all, we ask Rabbul Izzat Tabarak wa Ta'ala, may Allah grant speed recovery to all our mothers and sisters and brothers and our children. May Allah grant them shifa kamil, ajil, ghayra ajil. And we make a special dua for our respected ulama and the sheikhs and the imam for that sacrifice and that effort to do it for the sake of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. May Allah reward our sheikhs and imams and muaddin and all those who are religious workers of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. May Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala grant them sabr and ajr. May Allah pay you in dunya and akhirah. And really we appreciate all the effort of the alima, the hafiza, madrasa, the maktab on the masajid. May Allah make it easy and may Allah grant them ajr dunya wal akhirah inshallah. Ameen ya Rabbil Alam. Brothers and sisters in Islam, once again we say shukran for your comment, and we'd like to remind you that our program here is not a fatwa program. Is a da'wah program, and we know that we enjoy your question, and really I do appreciate and I'm very grateful that you're trusting us for asking some question. But as I said many times, and I'm repeating again, we want to motivate the ummah and we want to encourage the ummah to be on the road and to encourage ourselves as well. So we're sharing with you that moment so that we can try to find a way to beautify our deen and to follow the Sirat al-Mustaqim. It's very painful to me when we find a message or a call from a parent complaining his own child. And we did talk before on the program here about the right of the children, right of the parents, and all that social problem and that violence in the house because no one knows his right and the right of the other. Uquq al-walidain, disobedience, to be unkind to your parents, is not a family fight, is not the error of attitude, is a major sin. We know that in Islam we got major sin and minor sin. Immediately after kufr, uquq al-walidain. After you disbelieve in Allah, the second type of sin, it's called disobedience of Allah. Why? Allah is a creator and these people are the founder. So Allah is the first founder and your parents are the second one. That parents could be your mom or dad or elder brother or uncle or aunt or your elder sister or anyone who brought you up. وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِ صَغِيرًا. This ayah is a dua for those who brought us up. We appreciate it. Nabi Muhammad stood 1 hour with his foster mother. Nabi Muhammad did appreciate any effort comes from any person done it to him. Anyhow, it's not only a attitude or the manner error, it is a major sin. We know that our children nowadays are facing a terrible zaman and terrible pressure, and we know that life is not like our time. We understand that. The challenge and the facing the children, it's very hard. But we understand also that we Muslim, through the ages and time, our Islam doesn't change. The rules of Islam, the haram is haram from the time of Adam alayhi salam till the day of Qiyam. You can get technology, you go up, you're educated, you do this, but your parents are your parents. There's nothing to say it's because of this or because of that. Parents are parents. So in a shortcut, when you offend your parents, physically, psychologically, spiritually, any type of immoral act with your parents, it is a major sin. Al-uquq al-walidain. Ask any sheikh or alim around you, read about it. It's not a small haram as the children think. And unfortunately, we as a parents, we swallow that and we overlook at that while we're putting our children in a big trouble with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Uquq al-walidain, Allah doesn't accept it even if the parents accept it. If your daddy happy with that type of attitude of yours, but that is against the system of Allah or against the deen of Allah. So how do you know that you are committing a major sin? Or how do you know that you have uquq al-walidain? Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, raising the voice. Raising the voice in front of your parents, even with the jokes. That is not accepted, is a sign of uquq al-walidain. You're screaming, you answer him back, whatever. Even if the father and mother or the elderly person accepted that or happy with that. No, Allah is not happy, so we don't care if your father accepts or not. The other thing, you become ungrateful to your parents. Many people, they say, my mother didn't do nothing to me. They were abusing me, he was unfair, and you try to disrespect parents, or you don't show the appreciation to the favor of you. It's enough that he brought you to this dunya. There was no reign of the children. It was a long procedure. Bring the child. One child now is a big job. Plus, in this zamaniya, children are costing us. So make shukr that this man brought you up, and then Rabbayani Saghira. They brought me up till you become that type of person who's doing that attitude. The other thing also, parents, you always spend on the children. But because of some reason, the father become pensioner or retired, or his capability for making rizq is getting less. So sometimes you need the help of your son. But it's very painful when the father stretches his hand and asking his son, whom he used to give him and spend on him. And the son counted that as a taklif, as a burden, as irritating him, especially if the wife of that child is not a dini woman. So why are you spending on your father? Your children need it. Now you can't do it. Your father is taking chance. You're an old man. What he needs from the dunya? So you have to spend on your parents. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Ihsan, it means give him more than he asks you. Because we believe as a Muslim, the child and what he got is belong to the father. The father is the owner. The father is the owner. So spend on your father with muhabba. Don't show any type of boredom or anger, because Allah will count it. You yourself belong to the father. Whatever you own, whatever you have, it's your father. It's your father. So it's very hard to see the father nagging and begging his son to take him to doctor or to spend or take him for Hajj. If you have the ni'mat of Allah, be grateful to Allah and spend on your parents with muhabba, with a good heart, and don't show the boredom to your parents. Another thing also, we're having a big problem. Should we look after our parents or our children? That is an ongoing debate till the day of Qiyamah. We know that our children is our responsibility. So now we got certain amount of money. Should I spend on my children or my parents? Is your parents. I'm here on Islamic Station, and I'm telling you, if you don't spend on your parents first, and if you want me to give you the proof, read the hadith of that man who had a milk and was waiting in front of the door or the doorstep of his father. The father and mother sleeping all night, and the children were crying. And our Prophet ﷺ said that man did not give his children. He was waiting for his parents to come and drink that milk. And Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala counted it as a salih a'mal and as a release from him, for him in that cave which being blocked. Just read about that three trapped on a cave, and big rock was closing the door of the cave, and one of them was this man. And because of this action, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala moved the rock of that. It means you done some sort of superpower because of that type of act. Another thing is a terrible sin, uquq, when you make hijrah of your parents. What is hijrah now? You migrate physically or spiritually from your parents. What is hijrah? Your father is in the house and you don't communicate with him, you don't share any problem with him, or you don't let him feel that he's important in this house. We become clever and we become independent, we don't need our parents, so your father become like a smallest, youngest child in the house. No, that is not accepted. Allah won't be happy, so you have to share with him, you have to let your father feel that he's very important, and you must communicate with him. You got hijrah makaniya, the hijrah of the place, so you don't visit your parents on their house, every Eid or every Ramadan, or hijrah on mental hijrah, they call it. What the mental hijrah? You sit with him in the house, you live with him in the house, but you don't communicate with him, you don't let him feel that you sharing with him. Suddenly you find a car outside, I bought a new car. And suddenly tomorrow I'm going Durban or I'm going America with your father. Just inform your parents before you travel so that they make dua for you, or they will be happy with you. Tomorrow this man died, you didn't meet him. You have to be questionable about it on the day of Qiyamah. Brothers and sisters in Islam, the matter of parents is very complicated, especially in our time now. Be careful, because these people are the people who take you to Jannah or to cause the adhab of Allah. May Allah save us and may Allah forgive us for any mistake we done it to our parents. Short break, we'll continue after that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brothers and sisters in Islam. Once again, we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah guide our children to be kind to us, and may Allah guide us to be kind to our children. May Allah safeguard each and every Muslim from that terrible sin, that unacceptable sin in dunya and akhirah, to be cruel or to be harsh to your parents or disrespect your mom and dad or any elderly person in our life. Elder brother, elder sister, aunt, uncle, anyone who's older than us. It's a part of Islam to respect the kabir. The kabir, it means the elderly person. Even 5 minutes older than me, we have to respect him. The other thing also is a sign of uquq and disobedience, that when you try to take a side of your wife against your mom and dad. There's this message of me now for those who are living with their parents. This boy, that husband or that child who married and he got his mom and dad with him in the house, this boy, he made it big taklif and difficult for him in the house. My friend, it's not a war between your wife and your parents. If you are a real Muslim and understand what is the right of parents and what is the right of wife, you will never feel guilty at all. If you know the right of your parents, the right of your wife, is not a fight and wrestling between this lady and her daughter-in-law. So you are the judge, you are the person who only practice the Sharia, practice the Islamic law, so you don't feel guilty that, oh, today I took the side of my mom by abusing my wife, oh, I was like this. What is that? By ilm, by knowing the right of the husband and right of the wife, right of the father, like this. So what happened? When you have this problem in your house, so refer to the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and quickly ask, what should I do? What did the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said on this case? Now we see the person come praise his mother in front of his wife. Now we know that mother-in-law is not a mother, is not a biological mother. So this lady treat her like mother-in-law, but you treat this lady. My friend, don't praise your wife in front of your mother, because your mother is a woman. So you got that feeling. And then they say two hearts fighting for one heart. So the mother say, this boy is my property. And then the lady said, no, I am with him 24 hours, so I deserve. So you You make taklif, you put the burden on yourself, you don't know what to do, so refer your action to Quran and Sunnah, and you must find out and ask, what should we do? Now, when the Sharia said this fight, it's this time now, the score is for your mother. Don't feel guilty that you did abuse your wife. And if the Sharia said that score is for your wife, you don't feel that you disobey the mother or you're committing a major sin. So it's about knowledge. It's about the way you understand the right of the father. That is our problem in our life now. We don't know the rules. That's why we rely on our feeling, we rely on the people's word. The other thing also, you must understand that your children must respect your parents. Must respect your parents. There's no way to say my child is young or is very spoiled or just playing, doesn't mean it. No. And our children are watching us, the way we deal with our mother and father. Many of our friends, I make dua for them. In the night of nikah, we call the girl and say, look here, my mother out of competition is my priority. You like it like this? Yes, I'm a mommy's boy. Are you happy with that or not from the start? Yes, I cannot fight my mother. My mother's an old woman. We accept her like that. My mom is living with us a few years. I must accommodate her and finish now. Then let someone like me shouting the mother. And we're telling the mother, leave your son alone. Don't be the one who interfere between these happy people's life. Just make dua for them and pull out from the life of the children. Don't interfere and don't try to put your nose on each and everything on these children. The other thing also, many of us, we're waiting for our parents to apologize. Because from the small, we get used to that mommy always, maaf, sorry, like that. But in the old age people, they become a children. The mentality of the children, they become very sensitive. And it is sickness nowadays, it's called weeping sickness. People in the age of 60, especially, is a sensitive people. The people are very sensitive. You know, we are not the same. Some mother, when she reaches certain age, especially the widow, if your father passed away, you become very sensitive. And then she expect, after your father passed away, she expect that you're going to give her double care, look after her. Now, you run with your wife and your children, leave the mommy, and you're waiting for mommy to sacrifice. Till now, your mommy did sacrifice many years, enough now to carry that load from her, and you entertain your mom and you sympathize her and give petting your mom and hug the mom and give her the hug as a payment for that many hugs she gave it to you. And so apologize to mom, explain that sorry, my wife is like that, mommy, I love you, leave my wife alone, she's coming from a different background, I'm trying to fix mommy, I'm your child. And from behind your wife you can say that you'll do that. Another thing also, make sabr and practice patience on your parents. These men or that women reach a certain age, they are not like before. So what you do, you practice how to make sabr. Physically is not like before, mentally is not like before, and then psychologically also the parents are not like before. So if he's a bit funny on some action, make sabr, is part of ibadah. Then وَصَاحِبُهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفٍ, and be kind and do the sharia on them and try to make that sabr for the sake of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. Another thing also which is very, very important, that putting a burden on your father and mother. I got one case here in front of me now. Mommy, she's no more that healthy woman like before. So now the brother fight. Then he come, mommy, you don't know what happened? You know my brother what he did? This boy tried to instigate and change the heart of this mother to go and fight with other. Mommy is not like that one. She used to shout and fight and hit because she's on that type of age. Kibar. Kibar, it means the old age. Her job now is to be on the musalla, is to wash, to bless you, to make dua for you. But don't put your mommy on that inheritance story, money story, because the capability of receiving the problem is not like before. And then the women got Alzheimer, they got a heart problem because you're giving her taklif after you married and you got children. You visit your mom, don't give her all the story, just entertain your mother, spend a nice time, let her make dua for you, enjoy, make jokes and give good time and happy time and walk away. Because some sister, and may Allah grant our young women hidayah, some daughter-in-law, the baby is sick. She carry the baby and go to the mother's room and say, "There, please take this one." And the lady go and sleep, and that old woman, she must hold the baby like this and give him milk and what. She say, "My friend, this lady done many boys before, let her rest." And you say, "No, this lady, she knows how." No. You are the mother, not the grandmother. Look after your children, don't give taklif. And then school problem, money problem, fight. No, mommy unable to accommodate that because physically she's not fit. And she did face a lot of problem with you that time. Now she's repeating on the next generation. I don't accept that. And we advise our young boys and girls, please leave mommy alone. Let her enjoy, make ibadah and bless everyone. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give her a happy life and good health, inshallah. So don't give her a burden. Don't give her something she can't carry. The other thing also, dua for our parents. Very important, my son and my daughters, to make dua for me. Please make dua for your parents, because they need the ibadah of these people. They are not like before. So now you look at their sujood and ruku'. Look at I received today the message say, I don't know, I got too much waswasa on salah. I'm repeating and I break my salah. I say, "Mommy, don't break your salah. Just build it on a minimum rakat and do sajda to sahw, and you can don't give, because these people, this type of age, really they physically are not fit, and you make dua because their ibadah is not enough. We need your dua. After every salah, رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيَّ اللَّهُمَّ مِنْ عَلَيْهِمْ بِالصِّحَّةِ. You just make any type of dua, and الْوَلَدُ مِنْ عَمَلِ أَبِيهِ. So the children are the extension of the parents. So when you make dua, you make amal, it goes to your parents. So brothers and sisters in Islam, do not offend your parents, because when these people go away, you will regret. And you got millions of people wish the father just come to eat by his house 1 hour before you come from the grave too. Because some people, they regret when they understood that they were wrong, but he looked to reconcile with his parents, and the parents is not around. That's why we said, take that golden chance and hug your mom and bless your mom and let your mommy make dua for you, and don't fight, don't give them a hard time on the worst part of their lifetime. That's why we got a dua for the elderly people. I don't know if you can catch this dua or not. He said, Allahumma ij'al awsa'a rizqaka alayya inda kibari sinni wa inqita'a umri. Allahumma ij'al awsa'a rizqaka alayya inda kibari sinni wa inqita'a umri. What a beautiful dua. If Allah accepted that dua, you are lucky old men or women. You will get a lot of barakah and blessing, inshallah. Short break, we'll continue after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brothers and sisters in Islam. And once again, we say shukran that you're tuning to our program. On behalf of all my friends behind the camera, we say shukran jazilan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of us to Sirat al-Mustaqim. May Allah guide all of us to Bir al-Walidain. May Allah to make it easy for us to be kind to our parents. And on the break, my cameraman asked me, what about if my mother is not a Muslim? Now, we have to tell him, mother is a mother. If she's a Muslim, she's still a mother. The title is not our neighbor. Mother is mother. So read about the story of Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, when his father was pushing him to disbelieve in Allah, and actually his father physically offending him, to throw him on the fire of fire there, and pelting him and punishing him. Parents are parents. We don't care what religion they carry. Parents are parents. When you say Umar ibn al-Khattab, is your father. Is your father. So you have to be kind. Whatever I have said, doesn't matter that parents are Muslim or not Muslim, good or not good. Parents are parents. It's the system of Allah. وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. That type is not a normal disbeliever. That type of parents, which I read now, they are very troublemaker. They want to force you to leave Islam. They want to put a pressure on you by many means to leave Islam. فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. But don't listen to them, but accompany them in a beautiful way. What is ma'rufa? Give him his right. Brother, sister in Islam, Islam is a wonderful religion. Doesn't have any problem with a non-Muslim. Our problem when we disobey Allah and we don't want to apply the rules of Islam or the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another thing I'd like to respond to the sisters when we give a program about polygamy, second wife. And I don't know, I got some viewers, they ask so much about the second wife. I don't know why they ask. If you want to marry, go marry. But I don't want to repeat what we have said before, but I just want to send a message to the new wife or the second wife. When we say second wife, it means the first wife is there, and then you got, we call it second house, or the second wife. Number one, don't forget that you are the second. The lady is the first. So the first lady is the first one. So we must agree that you are the second and you knew that this man had a wife. All right. Number two, if you don't learn how to make sabr, don't go for that type of marriage, because it's going to be ongoing fight between the first one and the second one. Number two, it's natural, obvious that there's going to be jealousy between you and that lady. As I said, two hearts racing and fighting for one heart. So it's a tough competition. The other thing also, be careful, because if you don't give him what he was looking for, he will go back to the first one and you are out. And it happened a lot. That man married for a few months and then he come back to the mother of his children. Why? Because you treat him as a first wife. And then that man said, no, I don't want to repeat the same mistake. Then he go back to the other one. Boredom, giving him hard time. So he did not achieve anything by the second wife. So the problem is still the same. The nagging is still the same. The fight is not the same. So my sister, be Jannah for him. If you count the first one as Jahannam, so you are Jannah. But to Jahannam, he will go for the first one because he used to live on that Jahannam day. So normally he's going to kick you out and look for the other one. Another thing also, stop doing posting and showing off that you are pretty. Yeah, you are young, you are pretty, you are what, because you were initiative. You just try, you are trial. Then sometimes that trial fail and we go. The beauty of the women is not a sign of happiness and happy life. Because you see the movie stars, they are very pretty and they live good life, but why they get divorced? The movie star marry and divorce like that. It's not like that. The beauty is the beauty of the ruh, beauty of the heart, beauty of the aql, and how to accommodate that person. And then, if you're struggling, if you are suffering, the first woman suffering more than you, because she's the one who received the shock. And don't forget, you did marry knowing that he got a wife and children, and you know that competition and that fight is going to start. The other thing, she's the first woman also got a lot of pain more than you. The other one also, two of you will die and you will meet Allah with your husband, and then so you will get hisab. So why are you using that problem as a means for you to enter Jannah and let your husband enter Jahannam and let your husband enter Jahannam? That is a very risky game. That's why we said to the people, if you are unable to handle this, fawahida, so keep one. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for those who married more than one. May Allah guide them to be fair, and may Allah place in the heart of these two women peace and understanding. And khalas, he married halal and he got children. What we do? Can't say make dua because my husband must divorce the second one. There is no dua to say man must divorce his wife. You're shaking the arsh of Allah. He's already a wife like you. So we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant peace and security to any marriage, inshallah. And may Allah save us from any injustice, inshallah. The other thing also, I'd like to take that opportunity and remind our brothers and sisters, the muhabba between the husband and wife is a long journey. It's not over one night. Yes, she was his cousin and they don't understand each other. They say after 8 years, you will come closer to your wife enough. One lady come from different background. Love before marriage is totally different than the love after marriage, because the love before marriage was a romantic love. No responsibility. Everyone sat by his house and just spend a lovely moment together, but which is not allowed in Islam. But love in marriage is something else. So you have to, if you want to gain the heart of your wife or your husband, you must learn sabr. Practice patience. Give time to these couples, to the marriage to work. Number 2, create means of muhabba. Create the means of muhabba. So you must find out what causes muhabba. Shukr, appreciation, praising, hadiyah, comfort him, try to share the pain with him. That is called wasal muhabba. Then you must understand that no one perfect. All of us, we got a mistake. We got some faulty. So please don't count the mistake, count the good thing in your partner, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will create mawadda wa rahma, love and mercy. Then, as I said earlier in the program, you must learn the right of the husband and wife. Now, when you learn the right of the husband and wife, so everyone will know his limit. Because sometimes the women said, my husband violated my right, but she doesn't know her right. So how you know that you say, no, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. You say, no, wait, learn your right first, and then we complain. The other thing also, that difficulties in marriage is a test like any test in our life. That misunderstanding or that friction. Brothers, they fight. Mother and son, they also got some misunderstanding. So why don't count this one as a part of that headache? People at work, they also got some different opinion. The children, the brothers, the people married for 40 years and they're still fighting. So why don't you count this one as just one act like the other? Like when you got some fraction or some misunderstanding with your own brother and sister. So it is an obstacle, it is a challenge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Learn something, it's called fiqhuz zawaj. I wish we can make a program like that. Let's study the marriage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So whenever we're stuck with our wife or husband, we refer to the sunnah of Rasulullah. So they call it fiqhuz zawaj. That knowledge of marriage and what we're going to do. Very important. Another thing also, as I said, sometimes the wife become a test, an ibtila and temptation from Allah to you or the husband. My sister married and mashallah, me I married but unna lillah, like that. No. As the person got cancer, you got sugar, you got a problem in the blood, you got a pressure, you got what? Your taqdeer is to face that man. It's like that. So, write that exam, face that calamity, and refer to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, you get ajr for that. Read about Abu Yazid al-Bastami, that great alim. His wife physically abused him. And this man, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, came to him in a dream. It's a very amazing story about Abu Yazid al-Bastami, because he did make sabr a lot. They ask him, divorce your wife. He say, how am I going to practice patient if that lady go away? I must learn on her how to make patient, how to hold and tolerate. Another thing also, we run our life not because of love, because of mercy. Yes, mercy. Especially those who married for long term. They say, no, I don't love that lady anymore. You say, oh, don't worry. There is some link there. You can use it. It's called mercy. If I divorce her now, Where is she going to go? Father passed away, brothers like this. This old lady, so that's called وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Allah made in between the couples love. Love because they have body, have beauty, what. Rahmah is for the children. If I divorce here, what about? That's why you said children tie the husband and wife together. The couples, they tie it together because many of them, they sacrifice for the sake of the children. May Allah reward each and every woman who did tolerate and make sabr because of her children, because of her reputation, because of her worry that she's going to shake the arsh of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala when she asks divorce and she wants to separate herself from that man for the sake of her own convenience. But you can't run for your convenience and put your children in a trouble and you cause a problem in the house. Another thing also, we have to understand that before we marry, this lady is my sister in Islam. So give your sister in Islam her right, treat her as Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala wanted you to treat her. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring peace and security to all our house of the Muslim, inshallah. Short break, we'll continue after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brother and sister in Islam. And once again, we are so grateful to Allah that you're joining our program on behalf of all our friends on ITV studio, from the brother Farhad, Umar, tell all my friend here behind the camera. We say shukran jazeelan that all of you that you're tuning to our channel, and may Allah reward you. And I'd like to really thank all our viewers, especially the young couples who are always watching our program and they like to hear from us. And shukran jazeelan for your comment, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of us to Sirat al-Mustaqim. There is a dua for the lady. You must read it. And for the man also, you can read it for his wife. But we change the form of the dua from male to female. So the dua here, that ulama, they put it in a beautiful way. And the women, when she was worried about the husband, you're going to go somewhere or going to commit haram or worry about the husband, because nowadays the fitna is too much, the attraction is too much, and no one perfect. And man is you know, when you go out and you face that fitna and that uncovered women and that type of attraction around the husband is a big challenge. So you read this dua, Allahumma inni istawda'tuka. So Allahumma inni istawda'tuka. Oh Allah, I put as a trust. Put what? Qalba zawji, the heart of my husband. Because this fu'ad, this heart here, they got lust and love and all that. So, Ya Allah, the heart of my husband is between your two fingers. Hold it for me and secure it for me. Wa sam'ahu, and his hearing. Because sometimes the man hear the voice of the women, or whatever attract him by the song or movie or what. Wa basarahu, oh Allah, I put the eyesight of my husband in your hand. So he will lower his gaze. The gaze of my husband is in your hand. Wa lisanahu, you should not have a nice, lovely chat with the women, then create the muhabba, or he will never respond to that type of haram chatting. Lisanahu. And then, wa farjahu, and his private part. His private part, I put it as amana. Fi wada'i'ika, in your safety, in your treasure, in your saves. Fahfadhum li. So Allah, protect them for me. Ya man la tadi'u wada'i'uh. You, indeed, you are the one, all the trust does not get lost in your hand, O Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. So again, Allahumma inni istawda'tuka قلب زوجي وسمعه وبصره ولسانه وفرجه في ودائعك فاحفظهم لي يا من لا تضيع ودائعه. Then you read this one, اللهم اجعلني قرة عينه الوحيدة. Oh Allah, make me the coolness, the only coolness of his eyes. So satisfy his eyes only on me, not on the other women there, right? Allahumma astur uyubi anhu. Oh Allah, cover and put a veil on my faulty on his eyes. He must not see something wrong on my body. So when we talk about qurratu ayn, we find that this man only admire his halal wife. Qurratu ayn is the coolness of the eyes. So why the coolness of the eyes? Because he saw many women outside, but he will admire me, not the other women there. So you make this dua, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect him and he will cool his eyes with you, inshallah. Another thing, I don't want to end my program with a little bit scary words, because I'd like to end our program with a very glad tiding words, but my friend, he sent a message for me and he forced me to read this one here. You know, some people in the day of Qiyamah, Allah will talk to them and negotiate with them and discuss with them, and then when Allah make that kalam and Allah look at you, He will look at you with the eyes of mercy. So people, لا ينظر الله إليهم, Allah does not look at them with the eyes of mercy. ولا يكلمهم, and doesn't talk to them at all. ولا يزكيهم, and He does not forgive them. So now, who's else is going to help you for that? Not only that, وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, and you will have a painful punishment. So because we love you, and we always worry about ourselves first and our children and our Muslim ummah, I'd like to just remind you to avoid that action which deprive you from the look of Allah and the seen of Allah and the kalam of Allah and the mercy of Allah, and also protect you from the adhabun alim. Because if you do what I'm going to tell you now, you won't receive anything and then you will get adhabun alim. We don't wish for any Muslim to suffer on dunya or in a grave or in akhirah. We want every Muslim die peacefully with the pleasure of Allah amongst those who radiyallahu anhum wa radu an fala khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun, a peaceful death, not only on the time of death, on the grave or on the day of judgment. Number one, that type of people, al-musbil. What is al-musbil? The one who dress or wearing his izar or his trouser or his kurta below the ankle. Arabs that time, they used to wear this to show off that he got too much materials. Or as we see now, you see the coat or the jubba, whatever, touching the ground, is like a peacock, is a thought of kibr. So try not to wear that one. You must follow the sunnah above the ankle. So it's a small thing, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save you from the adhab of Allah. And then, al-munfiqu sil'atahu bil-halif al-kadhib. This one is for the business people or those who want to sell. Make false qasam, that wallahi, billahi, tallahi, this is a form of qasam, is a genuine cost price, is original, is new, whatever they. Do not sell your item by the qasam, even good or bad qasam or true or bad qasam. So don't, for the business people, those people who work in the shops, do not make qasam so that you can convince the customer to buy this. Not only that, some people they make like this, they make a sign of cross. We don't believe on the cross. Is another problem. This. We're not allowed to make qasam by Allah. Now you make qasam for a non-Muslim customer with the cross, or by Jesus, or by the qasam of the non-Muslim. Nuh-uh. We're not allowed to even to make that normal qasam. The other thing, al-mannan. Al-mannan is the one who mentioned the favor. Mannan here, the mannan because is always showing favor to the people. I gave you, especially those who doesn't understand the seriousness of man. Man is you cancelling your sadaqah. Mannan, only Allah, not us. So when you try to say, I gave you Islam, and they say, I gave you money, I gave you ilm, I go, no. Stop mentioning the favor, because you lose the reward and then you get adhabun alim on the day of Qiyamah. Another thing also, al-yaminul kadhib. Yaminul kadhib is a false, lies qasam. But we're having two types of qasam. Qasam about the future, qasam about the past. Qasam on the future, you must be serious on that qasam, and then you got some problem and then you pay kafara. So you try to pay kafara for that. But what about the qasam on the past? Do you call it al-yaminul ghamus? What is the qasam which that person in the fire of Jahannam. You dip yourself on the fire of Jahannam. Did you do that? Now you're in the trouble. La wallahi, no wallahi, I never do. That one here, the ulama, they made it the most complicated qasam. Because there's no kafara for this one. What are you going to do? Astaghfirullah. And they say suspended answer till the day of Qiyamah. We don't know if Allah forgive us or not till the day. So please, please stop, declare innocent charge by false qasam about the past. We're not allowed to make qasam even, only for certain thing we make, if a witness or something. But wallahi, wallahi, billahi, like this, no, you disrespect the name of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. And then, al-hakimu yahtajibu an ra'iyyatih. A ruler or the governor doesn't see his flock. Manager never meet the worker for 3 months. President never dress the nation for I don't know how many months. So you must communicate with your people below. The shepherd must see his flock or his cattle. You must see and you must check each and every one. Another thing also, ash-shaykhu zani, an old man committing zina. We know the zina is haram from the young or old, but very ugly when the old man makes zina. And technically this man is not capable to make zina. Imagine your grandfather committing zina. Yes, Sheikh, you don't need it. Haram from the young, but this one is a bit ugly. Another thing also, a'ilun mustakbir. The man who got so many people depend on him, and his very arrogance, doesn't want to work, doesn't want to receive the sadaqah, doesn't want to benefit his people. We got so many poor people. The children need the bread, and he said, no, I'm looking for the decent job, I'm not working. So a'il mustakbir, it means arrogant, got a pride. Poor man got so many children or so many people depend on him, but he doesn't want to seek rizq halal. We got someday, but they told me that my time is up. Inshallah, we'll continue next time. Shukran jazilan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله ما لنا رب سواه لا إله